why? So, Full Circle Cinema, somebody that's actually reputable and you can take their word for this, is reporting something that's exploded absolutely everywhere in the last 12 hours. And that's the fact that Marvel Studios is looking to cast person of color, or people of color, as Charles Xavier, Professor X, and Eric Lensher, aka Magneto. Now, if you've been a subscriber to this channel, at least for longer than a year, you probably know my love and passion for the character of Magneto. It's really sort of unhealthy. So here's what I think about this. I'm conflicted because, as I've said before, I don't have a problem with the representation in the MCU. Shang-Chi, he's gotta be Asian. So cast an Asian. Oh, you did. Good job. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is coming in. She's gonna be Muslim. Okay. Women in the MCU. Fine. Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. Okay. But now we gotta change the color of people's skin and possibly gender swap down the road. Because why? Like, I'm not mad at this, okay? Like, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Most of you probably do know that the characters of Magneto and Professor X were based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. That's a very well-known fact, so I get it. But to me, this just goes all the way back to what Kevin Feige was saying when they first approached this. They said, you know, going down the road, you're going to see a whole lot of representation in the MCU, and they're going to deliver the X-Men that are far different than what we've seen on film before. And I think this kind of backs up those claims right now. And again, to me, everything kind of goes back to these characters' origins. Because let's be real, I get it with Magneto. I get why a lot of people are like, you can't make him a person of color. And I mean, you can, but you're taking away the specific way he's been represented ever since that character was invented. Professor X, again, let's say they're growing up in the 50s, 60s, Professor X, the whole rich nature and him going to school and all that, you're automatically going to change the fundamental backstory by changing these characters' skin color because of the time period they grew up in. So automatically, right then and there, both of these characters have to be hated. On top of just being mutants, they have to get hated for simply being different skin color. And that's where I get more and more issues out of this. It's just like, look, if you want to invent new characters, fine. Do that. That's cool. People will accept that. We all have accepted this. Or people say, you know, there's minor changes you can make in there that were made in the comics and even in the films, but they're not as impactful as something that's been there literally since the beginning. And again, I can agree with this. To me, it's just like, what is the point here? You know, why are you doing this? Because then just by looking at it, to me, this tells me that nobody is off limit at this point. And again, the X-Men are a very much varied variety of characters and appearances and religions and orientation sexually, so that's already represented pretty much everywhere. It just kind of boggles my mind on why this would be the way they go, you know, specifically with these two characters. Now, let's say if it was one of them, I could see that. Then they're going to the war over, you know, this is how we do mutants, this is how I do mutants, but there's the ideology there that's still strong as it is between those two characters and how they approach that war and how to approach going forward with this war against humanity. But imagine if one of them has been more oppressed because of his skin color. They have a little bit more to argue, right? But both of them, to me, just seems like you're just doing it to force it. And again, I have nothing against, you know, bringing people of color into the MCU. Clearly, if you watch all my videos, you know, that people are always like, oh, that guy's an SJW. Fine, whatever, just because I support minorities being represented, I guess, right? But this, to me, is kind of an issue at face value, and, you know, we don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe it's Oscar Isaac as Magneto. I've been saying he should be Magneto for a while. Oscar Isaac, if you look at his background, okay, I like the way you're doing this, Magneto. That's a great pick for an actor. Again, his background would lend itself towards it, and his look certainly could go a different way. But just going in there and changing everybody for the sake of changing everybody, because today, I'm just not feeling it. This is one of the times I'm agreeing with many people on here that I'm just not feeling it.